I've got more bizarre testimony today against Daniel Perez. He's a former Valley Center man charged with murder. A witness said Perez told her he could foresee the future and predict the deaths of two friends. Cake's Deb Farris has more of today's emotional testimony.
Daniel Perez, also known as Lou Castro around the Wichita area, had convinced all of his, quote, family members at a compound near Valley Center that he could foresee the future, even predicting future deaths. Today, probably the prosecution's star witness took the stand, saying that Perez asked her to come up with a false story and cover up the day that Patricia Hughes died. It was June 2003. A 12-year-old girl called 911 to say Patricia Hughes had fallen into the pool, hit her head, and drowned while trying to save her 2-year-old daughter. Authorities ruled it an accidental drowning.
Basically, all I can tell is the injury. Blunt force injury is mainly from in this case, her head hitting an object or her being struck by a blunt object.
Years later, that young woman tells a much different story. During testimony Wednesday, she said Perez told her to make up what happened. The witness said 2 weeks before Hughes' death, Perez met with her and Hughes. She said Perez told them, quote, there was going to be an accident. Trish was going to fall into the pool and she wasn't going to make it. Hughes was okay with the plan, that she knew it was her time to go. The witness said she and Hughes' 2-year-old daughter waited in the shop area near the pool that day. She said she heard a splash and maybe a scream. Perez asked her to wait 20 minutes before calling 911 so he had time to get to a car dealership. The witness says Perez began sexually abusing her at just 10 years old. She says she was terrified, shaking, so scared, but the only option she had was to let it happen. Perez had threatened to kill her mom, dad, and grandparents if she didn't. The final witness of the day says she met Perez when she was just 15 in South Dakota. She followed him from South Dakota to Missouri, to Kansas, and then Tennessee before he was arrested. She says she was terrified of Perez and did whatever he said. At one point, she said she was scared of him and he didn't need a gun to be scary. The preliminary hearing has ended, but closing arguments are still going to be held next Thursday before the judge determines whether or not to send Perez to trial. In downtown Wichita, Deb Farris, Cake News.